Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for North Dakota Today on this Monday morning. I'm Lisa Bedeau here with Chris Berg. You're talking about an awesome Christmas movie weekend.
We were just reminiscing here in the studio over the weekend. We watched Christmas Vacation, and I've seen the movie, a gazillion times, and we still, all of us, were sitting there just laughing out loud about some of the lines, and like, they want you to say Grace. Grace, she passed away along. Okay, I pledge allegiance to it. You're just like, so many pieces of that movie, you just can't stop. You just can't help yourself.
I love it. I love it. I've been watching that, and Elf as well. And I was just telling my colleagues this morning, a new Netflix Christmas movie. I think it's new, Klaus. Has anybody watched that? I would recommend it as well. It was awesome. I watched it with my 7-year-old, and we were like,
that's nice.
Yeah, so it was a good weekend just to stay inside and watch Christmas movies.
You know what else another great movie is? I don't remember if it's super kid-friendly. I think it is. But Four Christmases with Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon. Have you seen that?
You know what? I think that was on this weekend, too. It's been a while now. I watched a little bit. Is that the one where... Yeah, I remember, I think I flipped through and she was like holding the baby. She's like, I don't think the baby likes me. And the woman, and she had like another baby on the way. She's like, she'll be fine. She grabs some chips and walks away. I'm like, that's family get-togethers.
Is priceless in that film. And so there's so many just great scenes in that too. You got to watch it a couple times, but for those of us here in North Dakota, there's a piece in there where he I don't want to get into it because it's not super family appropriate, but they're out one night and they're doing something and kind of role playing, and he's like, yeah, and I'm from Fargo, North Dakota. I'm a bison or something. It's so
I don't remember that. That's awesome. So I want to show this picture again because you were one of many people, but you snapped a pretty cool picture this weekend.
Yeah, so I mean, you wake up on Saturday. I think I was going to go out and clean out the driveway or something, and I literally walk out my front door, and that's the picture. And you just... you're freezing here, it's winter time, it's December, it's below zero, and you see that and you're like, okay, God's pretty good right now. Like, it just was stunning to be able to walk outside your door. And that's not even a filter, that's not Instagram, that's nothing, that's just straight off the phone. And gosh, even as I see it again right now, I'm like, wow, that is just, it looks like sort of Jesus on the cross, and this, it's just an incredible picture.
It's inspiring. It's like something from, which is great.
And with Christmas coming up, it's kind of appropriate, right? That, hey, you've got that great picture, and sorry,
picture.
Speaking of more Christmas,
I'm seeing the light now that you punched me in the face. So no, that was the one plus of it being so cold on Saturday was seeing some of those pictures. I was telling you, Lisa Green was showing some incredible pictures that people snapped as well Saturday morning. So it was great. Keep sending those in. We love to see the beauty of the cold season.
My concern is the cold beginning to impact the bison offense?
I know something happened. I know what was going on. It was I didn't get to go to the game. It was the first time in a long time, but we watched the game on our phones from my daughter's basketball tournament. We were not alone. Everyone was like, yay, staring down, but we did get to go over. We ran over to Tailgaters and watched the end of the game. I was like, what's going on?
Exactly. Now, Illinois State, give them credit, and then they played a really good game, but to not score a touchdown in the dome, NDSU, especially with the offense the way they've been playing all year, it definitely, and I was at the gym yesterday and people were talking about it, and they I'm not going to say it out loud because I don't want to jinx it, but they were kind of bringing up some things that they were pretty nervous about for this Saturday. They play Montana State. I think the Bison are going to be fine, but clearly the games are a lot closer than I think we anticipated.
Well, we're never happy around here. It's either too hot or it's too cold. The Bison win by too much or they don't win by enough.
Gosh, the way you just broke it down is kind of sad to think about.
That's who we are. Right, we're never happy. We're never happy. It was cool. I think we kind of visited with Matt Larson, the NDSU AD, about that as well. It's like, it's kind of a balance. People, want to blow out, but then they don't want to blow out because that's boring. So, I don't know. It's good football. It was a great game.
It was a really good game.
Nail biter.
Bison defense, I mean, to only give up 3 points is fantastic. They held that stud running back, I think, to less than 100 yards. So, Code Green always pulls through. Defense wins championships. Let's just keep our fingers crossed that they're, Frisco bound again after this Saturday.
I think we will be. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about this game. So yeah, let's jump in. The game is at 1 o'clock on ESPN2, playing Montana State. Of course, we're still once again getting you ready for the game. All the good stuff's on KVLY because the Bison pregame show, of course, starts at noon. You got to tune in for the Farmers Union Insurance Bison football pregame show. And I liked the fact that the game's at 1 better than,
11.
11 was kind of hard for a lot of people. I think I was not the only one. It was the Metro League, FM Metro League basketball tournament for the kids. So a lot of parents were missing the game. I think hockey tournaments too, those kids, they're always cramping our style.
It's that time of year though when those things start to overlap and cross over.
Yeah.
So
no, I had so much fun. My oldest is a 6th grader, and those girls are like really talented. I think we're going to see some of those girls playing on high school teams. So that's
maybe for
fun.
the Lynx one day. And
maybe.
Last football comment, big game coming up on Monday. I just got to put this out there because it's the Pack versus the Vikings. Could have some big determinations for the playoffs, and it is just going to be one of the. It's at U.S. Bank Stadium, so it's in Minneapolis, and it is going to be an all-out war.
I like that.
I'm excited for it.
Who's going to win?
I think the Vikes are going to pull this one off. Dalvin Cook, I think, got hurt yesterday. Hopefully he'll be back. But their quarterback Cousins is starting to kind of get his groove. Thielen's back, which is nice. And Cousins is due for like a big-time Monday night interconference win.
I know my husband had ESPN on, I'm sure, or maybe it was Sunday Night Football, and I heard someone talking about how I think the Vikings are going to start to turn things around. One of the analysts, like it's time for them to kind of get into the playoff action and take the game seriously. So, I'll go with whoever that was I was listening to in the back. Maybe that's true. That's how I listen to my sports news. So,
well done, Boudreaux.
How about this for sports news and talking about sports and cold weather? Running a marathon, hard enough, right? How about running a marathon in Antarctica? It actually happens. I don't know why these people are doing this. Special kind of endurance, special kind of crazy, I would say. Oh, our director just said it's summer there, so, at least it was sunny. Look at that. It was the Antarctic Ice Marathon, 56 runners from 17 countries. They don't look like they're running too fast there. You gotta, can you imagine? How do you do that? Because you sweat or you don't sweat? I don't know.
How many runners did you say? 56?
56.
Wow.
Yeah, 17 different countries. And the cool thing, this year, the pack included an 84-year-old Canadian who became the oldest person to ever finish a marathon at the bottom of the world. Actually, it looks like they're moving along pretty well. Running on, how bad would that hurt your lungs? I'd say running on snow and ice, but
I mean, does that look remotely fun to you?
No.
Yeah,
no.
I don't get it, but
I don't either. And then the spectators, it's one thing to run, but then another to be the spectator. I don't know.
I wish they had a bunch of penguins lined up, like cheering them on. That would have been, fun to see.
That's insane. You hear about people running marathons like in the mountains too. So, like just running 26.2 miles is not hard enough. So they either have to run in mountains or
in Antarctica.
How cold is it there? I wanted to share this story. I saw this on Facebook this weekend, and I thought it was so awesome. One of our guests here, Lauren Zimma from the Nines, is doing something really cool. 'Tis the season to pay it forward. She posted this picture, and I didn't know she did this last year, but she said she was inspired by a friend of hers who is battling cancer. Her name's Meredith, and she said to spread a little holiday cheer and to help support those who are battling cancer, they're giving away these socks, and you can't see it, but it says, on one sock, if you can read this, and the other sock is, I'm kicking cancer's butt. So I love that. She said, just message her on the Nines Facebook page, because a lot of people don't want to kind of put out, you could just post on there as well.
Yeah. Message
her, and she'll make sure that your loved one or friend, family member, will get a pair of socks, a little something extra.
Yeah.
We talk about that a lot. It's kind of it's fighting cancer or any chronic illness is tough any time of the year, but especially around the holidays. So,
speaking of chronic illnesses, we want to pay tribute real quick to a good friend of ours, Craig Whitney from the Fargo-Moorhead West Fargo Chamber. We lost a great man over the weekend. I think we've got a picture of him here. He ran the Fargo-Moorhead West Fargo Chamber for quite some time, but just a super kind person, did a lot of great things for our community, used to work in the first George W. Bush administration. He'd sit down and chat with him, and he just had all these great, fun traveling stories. So he will be missed, and please keep him and his family in your thoughts and prayers over this holiday season.
We'll be right back here on North Dakota Today.